I would like to thank each and every one of you so very much for this opportunity to work for the district. I'm so very excited about what we are going to accomplish this year together. I would like to talk to you tonight about an instructional plan for our district. I have a vision of moving our district forward, and this plan hopefully will do that. If you look, I have a quote by John Dewey, who is a well-renowned educational specialist. And the one thing that he focuses on is that you should give some pupils something to do, not something to learn. And that's the basis of my foundational argument, my instructional argument tonight that I want to go over with you. So here is where our emphasis will be at. When we look at all the accumulated data that we have gathered, we're seeing that we're making strides in reading and math. And we're so very excited about that. But the concern that we have is that our principals, our instructional leaders, our coaches, our district administrators have noted that there is not a lot of writing going on in our classes. When we speak with our partnerships at the local college and community college level, we're seeing that we're having to place a lot of our students are going into those developmental English classes. We also cannot lose focus of the fact that in just a little short time, our students are going to have to take these new Common Core assessments. And a lot of these assessments will be grounded in constructed written responses. So when I look at our district overall, I see that this is a weakness within our district, writing in the classrooms. So my proposal tonight is all about the foundational basis of writing in all of our classrooms. So you may ask, why a Right to Learn initiative? If we look at the research says that writing will aid retention. It increases the depth of knowledge on a subject, it develops critical thinking skills, it promotes independent thinking, engages all students, increases metacognitive thinking skills, it prepares students for those new Common Core assessments, and it addresses our college and career readiness goals by preparing students to write effectively in the college setting. So when we look at overall what the research says about writing embedded in the classroom, there's no reason for us not to follow through with this plan. How are we going to support this initiative? So when we look at the basis of this argument of, yes, we need writing in our classrooms, so what does that look like in our district? So we are assembling a leadership team from our K-12 schools. And when we assembled this team, we asked them if they would identify effective writing strategies that would be embedded across the district. And this is what our team came up with. So when we looked at this team, we said, we are moving forward, hopefully, with your approval, we're moving forward with this plan. And what does that look like in the classroom? And these were the things that were identified. Writing across the curriculum, a self-regulated strategy development model, teacher modeling, student discourse, use of multiple pre-writing strategies with a special emphasis on graphic organizers, and then teacher and student feedback and peer-to-peer feedback. So then what does the research say about these embedded pieces that we want to put into our curriculum? When we look at writing across the curriculum, sadly, we rely on our English teachers to do all the teaching when it comes to writing. If teachers pass the book, well, that's not my job, says the science teacher. That's the English teacher's job. Writing across the curriculum puts a stop to that and says, no, that is everybody's job. Because writing is a complex process. It is ongoing, it's recursive, and writing is critical thinking. So when we talk about writing across the curriculum, we're hitting all of those markers for critical thinking to take place in the classroom. We're also bringing in a self-regulated strategy development model. I believe that good writing, there has to be a model in place. And what this does is it actually puts the responsibility of the writing back on the students. So we have students who are going to have to take ownership. They're going to have to self-regulate their writing, and they're going to have to learn this strategy in and out so that they can become productive writers. Next, we're looking at, when we embed this teacher modeling, that teacher modeling has been something that's been around for decades. Bandura first tossed it around, and then teachers have used it in their classrooms. However, teacher modeling is something that is not used effectively. So it is going to be by embedding this and by being very explicit in how to teach teachers to use this strategy, we're hoping that we're going to impact the classroom. Next, we're going to talk about, we're embedding student discourse. What does that look like? What does it feel like? If we look at what the research says, we're talking about the discourse is more than classroom talk. It is a complex interaction between teacher, students, and these individuals' unique perspectives manifested in verbal communications. So we are talking about rich teacher-student and student-to-student dialogue so that students can learn in a powerful, powerful way. Next, we're embedding these pre-writing strategies. We talk about pre-writing strategies all the time, but when you look at the follow-through in the classrooms, our data suggests that teachers are not using pre-writing strategies. So the research supports the idea that different teachers approach the writing process, particularly the pre-writing process, from many different perspectives. So by going and mapping out what our district will do as far as pre-writing is concerned, and not making it formulaic in nature, I'm not arguing that, I'm actually arguing against that. I feel like we will have a really rich and robust writing experience for our students. Next, feedback. If you look at the research, if we look at what Hattie and Temperley say, when feedback is combined with effective instruction in classrooms, it can be very powerful in enhancing learning. So we have our teachers not giving meaningful feedback. So we're embedding this into our professional development for our teachers so that they understand that. Now, I've laid out for you what we're embedding in those professional development, but now I want to talk to you about what that professional development looks like. So if we're looking at phase 1, the first 6 months, we're bringing in 50 teachers from across the district. They're going to participate in 5 full days of professional development focused on these writing strategies that our team put forth. They're going to be chosen by their principals because of their leadership skills at the school level. And then when they participate, we are charging them with going back into the schools and talking in their PLCs, talking in their departments about what this needs to look like. So then we step back and we move in phase 2. This is between 6 months to a year and a half. So we built the momentum for these strategies now. Now we're going to bring in we're going to pay for an additional 60 teachers to get trained. Those 60 teachers will be trained by the original cohort of 50. Again, these teachers are going to be expected to continue the dialogue about these strategies when they go back into their classrooms. So now we've got 130 teachers working on these strategies, talking about these strategies, and we're hoping that that will again get some traction in our communities. Phase 3, we're going to commit monetarily to training just another 100 teachers. Then after we do that training, we are pulling back, our hands are off of it, and then we're putting it back at the micro level. We're going to put it back on those principals. And those principals should go in those classrooms. At this stage, everyone should be trained, and that principal is looking for those strategies. Those district leaders are going into those classrooms looking at those strategies embedded in everyone's lessons at the secondary level. Not just our ELA teachers, but all of our teachers. And then when we get finished, we're hoping around year 2 we can enter in our phase 4. And phase 4 is simply the fidelity piece for our instructional plan. Are principals observing these strategies? Are we noticing a positive change in our student achievement data? And our partners, are they noticing a drop in those developmental classes that they have to offer our students? Thank you so very much for your time, and I appreciate that you've given me this opportunity, and I really hope that you will look at this instructional plan and that it is something that you would like to carry forward as we move this district further into the 21st century. Thank you so very much.